Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Heralds of Galactus, the Fallen One, and TERRAX 2-pack. Because after this whole fake drama thing that went on over the past week or so, I just felt like rubbing some salt in the wound. No, it's completely random. I didn't mean to review this at this time. It just happens to line up perfectly. This came out a while ago. I think they originally marketed it back when Galactus was a thing, the HasLabs Galactus, and they thought they could con some people into buying this. And they did. It sold out. It was a Pulse exclusive. I ended up buying it on Big Bad Toy Store way later because I didn't want to buy it from Hasbro. But I figured, what the heck, maybe somehow it's amazing and I should review it. So I got it and we're going to take a look at it. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, before we get into the figures, let's take a look at the packaging. I do think they did a decent job this time. The poses are not super dynamic, but they're good enough to get a feel for the character. We have some artwork behind them that shows you how inaccurate the figures are. Weird choice. Here we go, some more artwork. That's the same ones, but this time with color. And then over here we get the totem pole. Alright, and then on the back some more decent poses. Alright. Okay, these renders look fairly accurate to what we actually get in the package, so that's a good thing. Alright, packaging is passable, nothing special, but nothing wrong with it. Let's do some height measurements real quick, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty and the commentary on this. Alright, so TERRAX here. Exact same figure as before. Oh, by the way, I went back and checked, and this figure, the original release of this guy, not counting color scheme, came out, it was, what, 35 years ago? It's a long-ass time. I don't remember. Was it 2014? I don't remember. I didn't check. It's old. Alright, it's an old release. Not that that matters, because you can't tell the difference. There's one key difference. I'll get to that in a second. But as old as this figure is, it blends in perfectly with the current Hasbro products, which is interesting because there's no progression in developmental standards for this company. 20.5 centimeters to the top of his head, about 8 inches. Here he is up against everybody's favorite height comparison figure, Darwin, up to the chest. So TERRAX does have some size. He was originally a Build-A-Figure, so keep that in mind. Alright, and this guy stands... God, that's an ugly figure. Okay, this guy stands, not counting his hair, about 6 5/8 to the top of his noggin. That's gonna be just about, we'll just call it 17 centimeters, whatever. It's close enough. Alright, and this guy stands just a touch taller than Darwin. Okay, so, time for commentary. And I want to do a question of the day. Because I was looking at this on the Hasbro Pulse website to check the pricing, and I saw in the review section that somebody commented saying, this is a perfect 2-pack or something like that. This is how they all should be. Alright, question of the day. Do you agree? Should all of these exclusive 2-packs be repaints of really old figures and blank plastic? I'm going to answer my answer, which is no, not even close. Okay, so this set, $63. $63 for a repainted, reissued figure. Looks worse than the original. And blank freaking plastic. His head is new. That is it. The only new thing in this set, other than the shades of plastic or paint, is that head. $63. So, figure it out however, divide it however you want. At least $31.50 per figure if you break it evenly, not counting shipping or tax. I know, I should stop bullying the billion-dollar company that keeps doing this and people are taking it. Alright, let's just do a quick look at TERRAX aesthetically. I don't have the other one handy to compare against, but I do have the really old and terrible but old, and you can still see the figure at least, review in that corner. It's an old one. I had just started reviewing, so just look at what the figure looks like, and you can leave the audio off if you want to. Okay, so this time he has shading, hot spots of shading, which are tampography. You can see the dots. Hopefully it shows up. Yes, it will. Also, very, very unclean. I have red spots all over his arms. There's a chunk missing out of his head. I have problems all over mine with paint, but he has this tampography shading on him, which to me doesn't look good at all. The original release had like that stony paint job on it, You know what? I'll just post a screenshot of it. That way you don't have to go anywhere else. The other one looked way better. His colors were way more saturated. This guy's got metallic here. That looks kind of cool. Very dull gold. The other one was a lot brighter. So if you like that, that's personal, but I think this doesn't match the source material. And then we have this paint job. It's painted. His gloves are painted on and very poorly. It looks so cheap. So cheap. They couldn't give us, they just make some sleeves that go right on there. They couldn't even give us gloves. On a, well, let's see, 9-year-old figure? I think it's about 9 years old. I can probably post that in there. I'll probably have checked it by the time you see this. They couldn't add anything. So we have the shading on the front. There's no shading on the back. We have the painted on gloves. And we still have the incredibly disproportionate figure. He's got really muscular legs, very small torso, relatively short arms, small arms. It's not the way he looks in the comics. Some people like to say, oh, you just like things a certain way. It's your personal preference. Yes, my personal preference is accuracy to the source material. They're drawn different ways, sure. They're never drawn the way Hasbro makes them. Every excuse you guys have come up with, it's BS. Unless there's some kind of forced perspective, maybe somebody did it for some particular reason, but generally speaking, these comic book characters are never drawn with big heads, small chests, and small arms. It's just not a thing. Low shoulders, things like that. So yeah, this guy, it's not a better version. The other version is much better. Personally, and as far as I can tell, it's executed better. You might like the different subdued colors here more, so that's fine, that's up to you. But the shading looks bad. Paint job on the wrists, not good still. The face looks okay. I think the last one had black in the teeth. So, it's fine. But man, look at that. He's even got black or whatever, some kind of, I think that's the blue from his beard thing on his face. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Alright, moving on to this guy. Get ready, if you thought that was bad. What the flippin' heck? What the flippin' heck? $33 flippin' dollars! Heck! It's not a good sculpt. It's not even one of their good sculpts. Let's just start with that. They didn't pick one of the good ones. It's not one of the pinless ones. It's not the Vulcan body. It's one of their shitty, crappy ones from before. And it's solid, blue, flippin' plastic. There's nothing good about this body. Collectively. If I look in tiny little details like, oh, the quads technically have the right muscle groups, sure. But overall, the muscles don't look good on this guy. This isn't built like a superhero at all. It's certainly not built like this character. And then we get this head, which is, I would argue, 10% too big. It's huge. It sits on top of a lollipop like you wouldn't believe. Goodness gracious. And I don't think the sculpt is great. That hardly looks like he's actually yelling. That looks like he's just opening his mouth. The shape of his face is weird. And I don't mean like the angular features. I mean just the overall shape of it. The angle of the jaw, the angle of the teeth. It's weird. The hair is kind of cool, I guess. But the way they did I think they could have done a lot better with like some pearly paint on there. Something that's not just... It looks like a super bounce ball. Super bounce, is that what they were called? I used to just call them bouncy balls, but I think a lot of people called them super bounce. Anyway, like I don't mind the sparkle glitter, whatever it's called, but it's like no paint. No flippin' paint. Giant head, shitty body. I give up. I give up. What the heck? A repaint, a crappy repaint of an old ass figure, a not new body being reused without any paint at all, and a new head. For $63, and people are defending this company. This is how all 2-packs should be. No, it's not. Aesthetically speaking, 0 out of 10. Practically speaking, objectively, there's nothing good about this set. It might be acceptable, but acceptable is not enough for a pack of repaints or lack thereof and a new head. So I'm taking away spite points. As far as accessories go, we do get a slight upgrade for TERRAX's weapon. They did some paint wash in the details. There's no paint on the silver, So that's, I mean, it's whatever. It's just his axe weapon type thing, and it's fairly accurate. So that's fine. I like that. This wash should be standard, par for the course on everything all the time. Okay, so blue guy over here, he gets a gripping hand and a fist hand on him in the package, and then you get the alternate fist hand and gripping hand. You know, for all the gripping he needs to do. But wait, there's more value added in this set. We get some blue flippin' bubbles. Again. Another reused accessory with like 6 pieces of glitter in it and blue bubbles. No unique accessories either. Nothing. Okay, you know, I'm not rating anything else on this set. Don't buy it. It's a piece of garbage. Do not buy this. This is everything wrong with Hasbro. It's not how everything should be from Hasbro. It's the opposite of that. It's how everything shouldn't be. But this shows you exactly how they feel about their customers and their IP. The IP they have a license for. Don't buy it. It's garbage. It's not worth anywhere near what they're charging. And value's not subjective in this sense. People like to say, but value's subjective. Yeah, technically. Like, if you like it a whole bunch, no matter how bad it is, then it's worth $1 million to you. It could be, but that's not what we're talking about in a review. We're talking about what you get for the money. How much effort, how much money they're putting into it, and what you have to pay for it. That's what we're talking about. And we don't have the exact numbers, but we see other companies making products, right? They're not all the same, so we don't have the exact same comparisons, but we have enough to know that this is unacceptable. Just because you have 500 Marvel Legends figures and Hasbro has a really wide character selection, that doesn't mean you have to keep giving them money, because you know what? If you stop giving them money, they will make a better product. Because there's nothing worse for sales than not selling things. And if they have to make a better product to sell things, they will. What's happening right now is they don't have to do that. They can make this kind of product, and it is sold out. Not only did it sell well, it's sold out. Now, some of that is going to be other retailers buying it to sell it after it's already sat for Hasbro Pulse for a while. That's fine, but still. They will make better product. You guys don't get it. People that keep making the arguments that, oh, well, this is the only way we're going to get the figure, so we have to buy it. No, that's not true. There's no reason Hasbro has to do a HasLab, for instance, to make a 2-foot-tall giant man. Because 2 feet tall is some barrier that they can't reach when other people, including Marvel licenses, have done 18 inches for a decade or more. It's not true. If you don't buy the crap they're selling, both literally and figuratively, they'll stop selling it and do better. This is unacceptable. I didn't think this was going to be a rant video, but the more I look at this, well, you know what? That's what it deserves. So this is a pile of garbage. Don't buy it. 0 out of 10. And everything I said about Hasbro, I stand by. People like to say I like to play the fence. No, I don't. Not at all. When Hasbro makes a good product, that's what I care about. And I'll say it's a good product. That doesn't make them a good company because they find one good product out of 100 they release. Don't be loyal to companies, guys. Be loyal to good products. For instance, I like NECA as a company, generally speaking. Not everything they make is perfect, but they try. If all of a sudden they started doing this, they get the same reaction that Hasbro gets. It's not about the company, it's about what they're selling you. Think about it that way. His abdomen muscles look like orange segments, by the way. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video... Oh, man. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, a thumbs down is okay, too. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.